Whoa, baby guys. So this is the Air Raid Lord, and I was planning on doing a Q&A video for my Twitter followers tonight, but I'm actually going to postpone that video until Sunday because we just got a very, very interesting piece of information that I saw just drop. And some of this information I'm viewing for the first time via comicbook.com. And apparently the Walking Dead story of Rick Grimes is going to continue in Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. So AMC has done it. They have given us a reason to watch Fear the Walking Dead, to go beyond and to follow the stories of Morgan, Dwight, Alicia. As many of you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of Fear the Walking Dead, but this is going to add a whole new spin onto things. So it says, The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead will be closer linked when Season 5 of the spinoff furthers a story seen on the flagship series, says Scott Gimple. At WonderCon, he was asked if the two shows would ever pit their survivor against a common enemy, and Gimple offered an enticing tease. This season, I would classify it as an enemy, but there will be this. Beyond Austin Emilio, this very interesting commonality, this story strand that's going to be furthered on this show that started on The Walking Dead. And who knows where it will go. But that's the thing on tap right now, which is pretty funny. And then into our 30th or 40th year, really going to see a lot of more crime. So, of course, Gimple thinking, again, that the show will go on for infinity years and kind of joking like that. Which, again, as long as it's good content, I'm all for it. So, comicbook.com then says that that thread hinted at by Gimple could be ties to the disappearance of Rick and Jadis. He teased it. Fear the Walking Dead is coming up in June. When elaborating on that breadcrumb, said that the new season tells a beautiful and action-packed and hilarious and sad and explosive kind of story that actually has to do a lot with one of the characters here, but very much a great deal to do with another peek into the greater universe of The Walking Dead. So, Amelia was on board. Dwight reaching Fear is just different sorts of crossovers that they're planning for the Walking Dead universe to tie everything together. So, this is really interesting. There were rumors about this, but there was nothing ever confirmed that The Walking Dead was going to do this, and Fear the Walking Dead, sorry. I mean, just the Walking Dead universe. Scott Gimple is the, creative director head after he placed Angela Kang in charge of show running. A lot of you guys have to remember that even though Scott Gimple's not the showrunner of The Walking Dead, he is still he's the guy. Think about The Walking Dead, the movies with Rick, and then Fear the Walking Dead, and then this third series that they have. There's separate puzzles, separate puzzle boxes. And Angela Kang is in charge of making one puzzle, and that's The Walking Dead. And then I guess Robert Kirkman and Gimple are in charge of the other puzzle, which is the movies. And then Fear the Walking Dead is some of the other executive producers and Gimple. And so he has a lot of creative responsibility. So that's why one of the reasons Angela Kang was put in charge of season 9 and further into the original The Walking Dead show that we all know and that I mainly follow on the channel. So this was something I had seen speculation about this, but now it seems like it is true. So this could be something interesting for the channel, whether I want to watch Fear the Walking Dead or not, because I've seen Season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead. I liked the pre-apocalypse stuff. It became too much of The Walking Dead 2.0, in my opinion, because it quickly became the same thing as The Walking Dead. The world overrun by zombies and characters having to deal with their emotions as they adapt to this threat. And we've had 7, 8, 9 seasons of that in The Walking Dead with characters that I'm more attached to. So I never got that angle of Fear the Walking Dead. Now, when Morgan crossed over, I didn't watch seasons 2 and 3 of Fear the Walking Dead, but I went and watched that first half of season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead because there were some crossovers. We had Rick Grimes, we had Jesus, we had Carol. There's an introductory scene where these characters all go to the junkyard because Morgan, from the season 8 finale, you'll remember Morgan went and got Jadis, told her to join the group if she wants, and then Morgan stayed at the junkyard until he was ready to depart, head west, and meet up with the cast of Fear the Walking Dead. And Rick, Carol, and Jesus all tried to offer their own bits of wisdom. Rick tried to convince Morgan to stay, but he said, you're always going to run into people. I always thought that was going to be the last conversation between those great men, those two men that met in the pilot, the first ever Walking Dead content we ever got. Those two guys met. Morgan was the first person to ever save Rick, ever before Glenn or anybody saved Rick. I mean, Rick would have walked right up to that walker and tried to give him a hug if Dwayne and Morgan hadn't intervened back in King County. So this is cool, like, because now there's a possibility that Morgan might be linking up with Rick. And it might also give us some clues as to where this A and B helicopter group is. And there are some still frames that you're probably seeing right now of like biohazard soldiers, scientists in suits. And I originally thought that this was just some sort of side plot in Fear the Walking Dead, but now it looks like there's going to be setup for the main movies, which... Will we see a Jadis or Rick or Heath cameo in Fear the Walking Dead? It's entirely possible now. And I guess this is, for me, like, if they didn't make this announcement, I don't know if I would have seen Fear the Walking Dead. Like, I would have maybe kept up with a few characters just to see what Morgan and Dwight were up to, because they're two Walking Dead originals, and I want to see what happens to their story, especially Dwight, because he was entirely absent from Season 9. Daryl told him to never come back, and I was like, did he ever find Sherry? Like, what is Dwight's goal now? Like, being part of the Saviors and trying to redeem himself in Daryl's eyes, like, that was so much of Dwight's story, but that was resolved at the end of Season 8, and now... Dwight is on his own. There's no Daryl, there's no Negan, no Saviors, no nothing. So this is going to be very interesting to see what happens with Dwight, but how all of this links up, because Morgan and Dwight could potentially bump into Rick. It's possible. So this is cool. What do you guys think about this? Will you watch Fear the Walking Dead now that this announcement has been made? It's gotten me a little excited. I'm going to be honest. I mean, Gimple knows how to let the leash out a little bit, and I'm kind of excited for this. So hopefully this yields some, like, I don't want the season 5 story to go nowhere, because I'll be honest, like, I looked at a few parts of the back half of season 4 and it looked really boring. By the end of season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead, Morgan's like, we're going to be a roaming group of people that help other people. It's like, again, like, we've seen this theme in the show before. It's a big step in the right direction for Morgan's character, who was shutting down and not wanting to be with people, but we see that Rick's words in that Fear the Walking Dead opening scene where he says you're always going to end up with people, it was true. Morgan is a major part of this group with Strand and Alicia and all of the characters from the Fear group. And I do know some of these characters. Again, I watched all of season 1 and half of season 4. Those were the two that I watched. So I'm aware, because they killed off two of the biggest characters in the half of season 4. It was Nick and who was the mom, Madison. Everyone was angry because Madison was like the main character and they got rid of her. And so yeah, maybe they did that to lay the groundwork for what's coming up. So we're going to maybe do some prediction videos leading up to Fear. Will I do reactions and videos for Fear? I'm going to put up a poll later and ask you guys, because I might just do review vlogs. Maybe I won't do reactions, but maybe I'll just review it, and I'll save the reactions for the main Walking Dead show and possibly the movies. But we'll have to see. So for now, I just wanted to discuss that. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks a lot, and yeah, I'll see you later.